Someday, am I live? I think I'm live. Hello, everybody. Pardon me, I am trying something new. And I'm actually on Facebook on my laptop. And I'm about to go live for the first time, if I can figure out how, on Instagram. Let's see here. And I am going to... There we go. We got some nice relaxing bird song in the background. Kind of edge out the buzzing of my refrigerator, which I don't know what's wrong with it, but okay. No, hush. Stay with me. Pardon me, I am trying to figure things out here. Do I need to... Whoops, stop. I have never gone live on Instagram before, so I am trying to figure out what I am doing. But my friend Stephanie, I was at Crescent Moon Gifts all day, and my friend Stephanie helped me to figure out how to do the Facebook Live. So I've got that going for me. Live, live. Am I live? Oh, I probably should switch the frame. Oh. Woohoo! Two screens. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I am Patrick. I am so happy you are here. I am a little tired because I've been doing readings all day, but at the same time I couldn't wait to get home to do this our Monday mini medicine card readings. And some of you, if this is my premiere appearance on Instagram Live, and so if anyone is there who hasn't been to these live videos before, my name is Patrick, and I will be your shaman for the evening, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we are going to do some readings. We got this awesome deck of cards with the animal totems. It's called the Medicine Card Deck. And those on Facebook have probably heard all this already, so I'm just going to smudge my cards. But so this is the deck I use. It is working with the animal totems rather than like it's similar to a tarot reading, but it's working with the animals, the totem animals, the animal spirit guides. And whoever shows up, each animal has a different meaning, symbolism, medicine, which is why they're called the medicine cards. And so what we do here, this is really kind of distracting. Yeah. Looking between the two screens, but So what we do every Monday, I started this back toward the beginning of the pandemic. And every Monday, I pull 3 cards and I give the meaning of those 3 cards. And your job is to choose a number between 1 and 3. And whichever card corresponds to the number you chose, that is your animal guide for this week. That is the animal who has volunteered to walk with you, to lend you its strength, its wisdom, and so on. And so feel free to choose more than one. You know, it's an abundant universe. There are no limits, and you can choose 2 numbers or all 3 numbers. Oh, she says she doesn't see me live on, it says I'm live on Instagram. I don't know. There's all these different effects. Okay, we just want, it says I'm now live. Okay, maybe I wasn't live before. It's alive! Hello everybody. In case I wasn't live on Instagram, now I am for sure. My name is Patrick, and we are here to do our Monday mini medicine card readings. I'm live on Facebook down here and Instagram up here. So, welcome. As I was saying, this is the deck of cards that I use. It's called the Medicine Card Deck, and each card has a different animal totem on it. And so what we do here, I've been doing this since toward the beginning of the pandemic, and every Monday I choose some cards to do some readings for people, especially during the pandemic when things were so weird and everything. I wanted to be a resource to give people guidance when things were so unknown and new and unprecedented. It's like we all needed a little bit more guidance. We still need more guidance because things are not normal. It's the new normal. But anyway, so I choose 3 cards every Monday. You choose a number between 1 and 3, or a couple of numbers, or all 3 numbers, right? And then I tell you which card is which, and whichever card corresponds to the number you chose, that is the animal that has volunteered to help you through this week, to lend you its strength, its confidence, its wisdom, whatever it has to offer you. So and I am not one who's good at multitasking, so forgive me, this whole 2-screen thing is a little different. Especially since the Facebook Live, well, I guess they're both, no, see, the Instagram Live is the mirror image, and the Facebook Live is the switch. So I'm looking at myself here as if I'm looking in the mirror. I'm looking at myself here in reverse. So it's a little bit disorienting. But how exciting! 2 screens, no waiting. Alright, so I'm going to pull a couple cards. I tend to get a little verbose, but if I can keep the messages down, At the end, we will do a guided meditation to give you a chance to connect with whichever animal chose you to walk with this week. So, all right. And I'm a little nervous because I've never been on Instagram Live yet. So, new stuff, new exciting things happening. All right. All right. So we have 3 cards. Choose a number if you haven't already. 1, 2, or 3, or 2 and 3, or 1 and 3, or 1 and 2, or 1, 2, and 3. And we will see how this goes. All right. Oh, and thank you for joining me, especially Instagram. Hello, Instagram family. I haven't been here live before, so welcome. Thank you for joining us. I am branching out, widening my audience, my influence, my domination in the world. So welcome. Thank you. And all those who have been with me for the past year and a half, I am so grateful. All right, let's get to the cards. So, number 1. If 1 was your card, got the old favorite, Coyote, the trickster. People get such the wrong idea with Coyote. People are afraid of Coyote. But when you bring up the whole trickster thing, Coyote is the trickster. Coyote is the sacred clown. Coyote is the one who will come along if you're too serious and nip at your ankles to trip you up to make you more aware of what's going on. So you pay attention. Coyote's job is to get us out of that the daily routine on automatic pilot and to wake us up to what's actually happening. And to laugh at ourselves. It's like it's exactly like Wile E. Coyote. When you've got coyote medicine going, you'll basically be tripping over your own feet. You might feel foolish. You might, foot and mouth disease. But the thing that you need to understand about Coyote is that Coyote is not malevolent. Coyote has no ill will. Coyote is just, hey, come on, let's play, boom, boom, let's play. Coyote wants to play. Coyote wants to laugh. And when you're taking life too seriously, that is when you're going to trip over your own tail. Overthinking things and trying to make things happen rather than just letting things happen and going with the flow. It reminds me of the saying I heard that when people pray to God when their cage is being rocked, not realizing that it's God that's rocking the cage. Coyote isn't here to trip you up. It's not to humiliate you. It's not mean-spirited. Coyote is not mean-spirited. It's to wake you up, to see the function, the purpose, the role of the trickster, of Coyote, is to free you from the cage. It's kind of like, I am not an expert on the tarot deck, but I believe it's like the devil card, where there's a couple of people that are chained up and there's this looming devil, demon, person thing looming, and actually the people, though they're in chains, the chain isn't connected to anything. They have the key to their own freedom. They're focused on this thing that's looming, but it's distracting them from realizing that they have the key. And that's what Coyote does, is remind you that you have the key to your own cage. and basically to remind us to laugh. You know, life is on some level a cosmic joke. You know, a number of years ago, one of my aunts died, and she was one of my very favorite aunts. And so after she died, I kind of kept checking in with her to see how she was doing, if she had passed over all the way, just kind of checking in. And every time I did, she wouldn't stop laughing. It was like she was very serious. She had a lot of different things going in this life. But once she passed over, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe I believed all of that stuff. And she was just laughing so hard to think that she had taken life so seriously. So when Coyote comes along, it's that time to not take yourself too seriously. And to remember that there is nothing in your life more sacred than you. You are the center of divinity in your life. You are the most sacred thing. And so, when we start taking things too seriously and start thinking that different objects give us power, or that we're better because we have certain training or whatever, we start to put that power outside ourselves. That's when Coyote comes in and will snatch that away to show that that has no more power than what you give it. Whatever that object, whatever that thing is, has no more power than what you give it. Because you are the creative power in your life. And that's where I don't know if you've all heard of the Heyoka. That is, I believe that is Lakota, but it's the sacred clowns. They do things backwards, and they come in and they will disrupt traditions or ceremonies and such, just to remind everyone that the traditions, the ceremonies are secondary, that the real power is in the people, that the people are the sacred part. The ceremonies, the objects, etc. are all expressions of that divinity within us. So Coyote will come along if you're taking life too seriously. If you're taking yourself too seriously, you're setting yourself up for a fall. And Coyote will come up and trip like, okay, come on, let's play. Yeah, like, come on, let's play. So don't fear Coyote. When Coyote comes up, he's trying to be the comedy relief. He's trying to put your life into perspective. Realize that life is not as important or serious as you think it is. One of my favorite quotes is from Oscar Wilde, and he said, "Life is too important to be taken seriously." Your life is too important to be taken seriously. There is too much lightness. And if you think about humor and enlightenment go hand in hand. I mean, I always use the example of the Dalai Lama. You know, he's probably the most enlightened being on the planet that we know of. And yet, he can't go for 5 minutes without laughing, right? Everything is funny. From some angle, everything is funny. And I don't mean you need to laugh at like horrendous things. There are horrible, terrible things that happen, terrible things that people do to other people, etc. I'm not saying to sit there, ha ha, and laugh at that. But when you realize, like my aunt did, that you are the power of source energy. You are the incarnation of source energy. You are eternal. There is nothing that can destroy you or kill you, or your physical body can die, but your soul, your spirit will be here for eternity. And from that perspective, that's who you truly, truly are. And from that perspective, everything, like, how do I want to put this? I'm trying to be delicate because I don't want to sound like I'm making fun of people or things. But even it's just the role, like when we come into this life, we're playing a role. This physical me is not who I truly am. There's a personality, there's an ego there, and it's a role that I play. It's an expression of my higher, deeper self, but it is a role. It's not who I truly am. And when you look at it that way, you look at this world as though it was, as like Shakespeare talked about the world being a stage, right? And we're all actors. We're all here to learn something. We're playing roles to learn something, and we have that forgetfulness to so we don't remember that we're God or goddess or all that is, or creator, whatever you want to call it, so that we can learn, because we believe that reality is all there is. But when you realize that that's just a show, a play, a stage act, then the fact that you were afraid of certain things from that other perspective is laughable. Like, oh my God, look at that. There's God. He's running away from himself. So bring lightness. There's a reason humor is called lightness, right? Because when you laugh, you feel lighter. When you laugh, when you have that sense of humor, everything is lighter. And that's the way life is meant to be. We are supposed to follow our joy. We are supposed to follow that path of least resistance that calls to us, that draws us forward into our greatest desires and passions and expression in this world, so that we shine brighter and brighter. So don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take the world too seriously. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff. So that's number one. Number two is Blue Heron. So if 2 is your number, you got the Blue Heron card. And Blue Heron is basically about stillness. And it's about self-reflection. Heron is one of the greatest hunters in the animal kingdom, but heron also doesn't need to stalk his prey like other hunters do. Heron just stands in stillness in the water, casting a shadow on the water, and it's his shadow that attracts the fish to him. His prey comes to him. Because of the shadow he casts, the fish are drawn to the coolness of that shadow, and so by looking into his shadow, into his reflection, Heron gets everything he needs, and everything he needs comes to him. He doesn't have to chase down anything. It comes to him. And I'm trying to think of what. My brain's a little tired. I did a lot of readings today already, so thank you for your patience and everything. As I'm talking, I'm not as animated as I usually am sometimes, but so Heron is about stillness. Heron is about standing with your feet in the ground, in the mud, in the earth, rising above the water with your head in the sky. You know, Heron's legs, they support him above the water. And water tends to mean emotions. Water is kind of like the emotional state of things, the different currents and waves, and easily tossed back and forth. Heron stands above that. He stands with his feet anchored, rooted in the mud, in the earth, and then stands on those tall, skinny legs so that he can look down upon the water. So he's not caught into the water. If he weren't the way he was, if his legs were shorter, or he was like trying to chase the fish, he would be floundering around in the water, kicking up more mud and silt and making the water even dirtier and muckier, right? So the only way to see clearly into that self-reflection is to stand in stillness above the water, not get caught into the water, you know. And if you think about it as raising your frequency so that you're not, how do I put it? Like from an ego standpoint, if you're chasing something, if you're trying to achieve something, you're lowering your frequency. It would be like Heron stooping down to try to swim to get the fish. He'd be lowering his vibration, lowering his frequency to face the fish head on, but he's greater than the fish. The fish come to him because of his vibration, because he has the stillness and the presence to look in his shadow on the water, and it's through that shadow that he finds clarity. And by the stillness, those skinny little legs make hardly any ripples, right? The water just kind of comes and flows between his legs, around his legs, without much of a ripple. So he doesn't add to the waves. He doesn't create more waves. And like Alan Watts says, you can't flatten waves with a flat iron. You just create more waves. So the wisdom of Heron is no matter what you're going through, no matter what currents are tossing you, what's throwing you back and forth, keeping you off balance, rise above it. Know that you are greater, that reality is not the highest reality. Is that what I want to say? If you think of it as the water and down is the world and the air is spirit, Heron stands in alignment with spirit from the perspective of spirit, so he can see things in perspective. He can see the fish coming. It's all clear to him because he's looking in stillness. He's not creating more waves in the water. The water is stilling around him so that he can look into his shadow and see what he needs. So rise above whatever it is. Come from that perspective of spirit and look on the world from that perspective. Don't try to live. I'm trying to put this into words. Don't try to live two-dimensionally when there's three dimensions, if that makes sense. This world is a world of duality. There's two dimensions. It's like, opposing forces. But when you realize that that is an illusion, you can rise above it, look at it from the standpoint of spirit, and see everything and how it works together, how it's not fighting each other. And then everything you need comes to you. I hope that makes sense. I'm not sure if I explained that the way I had wanted to, but you get more when you come from a place of stillness, of love, of connection. Then the universe brings you what you need. You don't have to chase it. And remember Heron, like when you're caught into the waves and the currents of the world, be like Heron, stick your feet down into the mud. Ground yourself, root yourself in the earth, stand tall, and raise your head to the sky. And know that you are powerful. Know that you're the bridge between heaven and earth, spirit and the world. And when you come from that place, what was that? There's a Kafka quote about, I'm really bad at quotes, so I have a tendency to paraphrase them, but basically, you never need to leave your house, and by staying where you are, the universe will come to your door and roll over purring like a kitten, or something like that. That's what Heron is getting at. So, that was Heron. All right, number 3. Got our old favorite, wild boar. When boar comes up, the word in the book for boar is conflict, but that's kind of misleading. When boar comes up for me, it's not so much conflict like two forces banging heads as it is. I always get this image of the Amazon, of Wonder Woman, that you shall not pass. It's not conflict in that two opposing forces. It's about standing in your power, and conflict just goes away. When you, it's like how you learn karate so you don't have to use it, because once you know karate, you get to know yourself on a deeper level, and you have tools to defend yourself, and you can take care of yourself. Basically, you're extinguishing fear. You just carry it. You carry yourself differently. You carry yourself with confidence, so that those who may have before seen you as prey, something to prey upon, they're going to see you and they're going to get that vibe of, oh, this isn't anyone I want to mess with, because they can feel that courage and that presence. That's what wild boar is. And the way you get there, wild boar tends to be, when wild boar comes up, if that's your card tonight, chances are you're going through some kind of initiation or other, some kind of rite of passage from one stage to the next stage. You're leveling up. Because boar is perhaps the fiercest animal on the planet. Boar is so fierce and so unpredictable. Like when they get threatened, they just start spinning and slashing, and they have the tusks and their hooves. They're deadly. Not even a tiger wants to mess with a boar. If a tiger sees a boar coming down the jungle path, he's going to turn tail and go the other way. That is the medicine of boar. So, boar basically embodies those fears that, any initiation, any rite of passage, you're passing from one level to the next level. Well, in between those levels, what distinguishes those levels is you're in this little bubble, reality bubble here. In the middle of it is your comfort zone, and on the edges is fear. Here be dragons. And so in order to move from that reality into a more expansive reality, you have to pass through that layer of fear, the layer of the unknown. That's where Boar comes in. Because Boar is probably the fiercest animal on the planet, across the globe, it is the rite of passage to adulthood to kill a wild boar. And it's a rite of passage, it's an initiation, because you're not guaranteed to survive. My teacher, Sandra Ingerman, talks about she was going through some initiation, and she was asking her guide, Isis, why it was so hard, was she going to survive it? And Isis was like, if you knew you were going to survive, it wouldn't be an initiation. So it's really, it's facing our fears, it's facing our power. And when we can face those fears, those places we've never ventured to before because it was fearful. We were warned against it as kids. There's witches. I have a lot of friends that are witches, and dragons, and monsters, and all kinds of things that are going to get you. And you have to remember that this fits with the other two in that it's a claiming of your own power, a claiming that power and alignment with spirit, to know that there is nothing more powerful than you, that on a soul level you are eternal, you cannot die. And so it's claiming that power, facing these fears. You still might be quaking in your boots, but if you can face something, you can handle it. If you're facing your fear, you're automatically taking some power away from it, and as you continue to stare at it head on, it loses more and more power as you just stay there. And that's the thing, is we talk about fighting our demons, and that kind of thing, and you don't have to fight anything. It's all you. And most of the time, that shadow self, that fear that we've dissociated from, that part of us, only needs to be acknowledged and seen and accepted, and then it disappears. There is nothing you can fear. There's nothing, ultimately, big picture, there is nothing to fear, because you are indestructible. Nothing can take you out. And so that's where the courage comes in, the courage of Boar, to be able to stand up and say, I can't exactly see it right now, but I know that I am creative source energy. I know that I am the creator, the center of my life, and nothing is more powerful than I am. No one is more powerful than I am. And to face those fears and to let them drift away, because your resistance of them is the only thing that kept them alive. Your resistance to those fears. When you turn your back to them or you run away, your fears get bigger. And so by stopping and facing them, you're claiming that power that gave birth to those fears, and you're recalling it back to yourself and seeing the fear for the illusion that it was. All right? So that's Boar. Feeling a little off my game tonight. I hope I'm coming across all right. I really am tired. But I actually was able to finish in a relatively early time. So we are going to do a guided meditation. I am going to take you on basically a guided journey, shamanic journey, to meet whichever animal chose you this week. Or if you chose more than one, pick one. Or even better, go on this guided meditation with the intention that whichever animal is foremost to be with you this week, that will be the one that comes. Or maybe all three of them will show up. Who knows? But we are going to do a guided meditation. I'm going to take you to this meadow where you can meet whichever animal or animals come to talk, so that you can get your own messages from them. You know, I can sit here and talk all day long about the meaning of the animals, the messages of the particular animals, and what it means to you and how it affects you. But that is secondhand knowledge to you. That is still hearsay to you. And my job is to empower you. The more I can do to empower you, to help you hear your intuition, to trust that intuition, that's my job. My job is to empower people and to help people raise their vibrations to come to a bigger awareness of who they truly are. And so I like doing this to give you that personal one-on-one with the actual animal, what their message is. So go ahead and close your eyes if you're comfortable. I'm just going to drum softly. The drum is known as the wind horse. It's the beats, the hoof beats of the drum that carry you into the spirit realm. So between the drum beat and the bird song in the background, we are being carried to the spirit. So again, if you haven't already, close your eyes. Take a deep breath and hold it for a moment. And let it go. Take another deep breath and hold it for a moment. And let it go. Feel yourself relaxing into your seat, whether you're in a chair, on the floor, on the couch, wherever you are. Relax. Feel that seat supporting your weight. The earth supporting you. You are safe. You are loved. And as you continue to relax, I want you to bring your awareness to your third eye in the middle of your forehead. Open that eye. Look out into your imagination. And find yourself on the edge of a great forest. You're standing at the tree line. And you're looking across a vast meadow surrounded by the forest. It's beautiful meadow. You can hear the birds singing behind you in the trees. You can hear the bugs buzzing around, the cicadas, the grasshoppers, the dragonflies zipping. And in the middle of the meadow you see a great flat rock. And it calls to you, come sit on me. So you make your way through the meadow, feeling the grasses, the weeds brushing against your legs, against your fingers. Feel the warmth of the sun on your face. You can smell the coolness of the nearby stream that bubbles past the rock. as you get there, go ahead and crawl up and sit yourself solidly and groundedly on this great rock. You feel the warmth of the rock beneath you, warmed by the sun all day, and the coolness of a breeze on your cheek, keeping you at exactly the most comfortable temperature possible. And from this place, hearing the stream bubbling next to you, looking at the waving grass and weeds, the tree line across from you, we're going to invite the animal or animals to come and meet you. They might come from the sky, from the earth, from the trees, from the stream, but come they will. So just invite the animal you chose, the animal that chose you, invite them to come and join you at this rock. And when they arrive, feel free to greet them, thank them for coming. You can pet them, scratch them behind the ears if they've got ears, and know that this animal has chosen you, chosen to walk with you for this week, to be your strength, to be your wisdom, to guide you in the highest possible way. And so now I'm going to be quiet for a minute or two, and go ahead and talk to the animal. Ask this animal, what message does it have for you? And ask the animal, what is it the animal has come to help you with? So it comes time to say goodbye to your animal friend for now, knowing that this place is always available to you. You can return here anytime you want. You can invite this animal or any other animal that you might want to work with to this place, to connect, to talk. Even if no one showed up, or even if no one talked to you, that is not a failure. Spirit moves in different ways for different people. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your random thoughts, for that is where your spirit guides will speak to you. It might be a feeling, might be words, might be an image, but they are now connected with you. So again, thank your animal friend for coming to meet you. Thank them for helping you through this week. You can scratch them again, say goodbye, give them something to eat, and tell them our work for now is done, but they're always welcome in your circles. And as they leave, it's time to turn your attention back to the present time in your room, on your chair, on the floor, wherever you sit. Bring your senses and awareness back to your three-dimensional physical being. become more aware of the sounds around you, the energy in the room. You start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, come fully back into your body. And when you're ready, softly and at your own pace, open your eyes, coming back completely and fully into this moment. How was that? I just did that with a client today to find her power animal, and there's something that I lose something in doing it over the video because it's such a great interactive thing, and I get to talk to the person about who showed up, and I can give my 2 cents worth on what I know of that animal. But the most important thing is whatever message, wisdom, presence that animal gave to you, that takes precedent over anything I may say or anything you may read. You know, I always suggest that people connect to their animal guides first, get a message, and then Google it, and then look it up in a book and see what the general consensus is. To get that validation, to build your trust in your own intuition, and to build that trust in your connection with your guides, to know that they hear you, that they're present with you. So I hope that was helpful and meaningful for you. I love doing this work. I love doing this work. And like I said, if no one showed up, know that they are still there, that they will come in some other form, in some other way. You might read an article about them, or all of a sudden someone at the bus stop might be talking about that animal. They will show up if you have the eyes and the ears to hear or to see them. And do pay attention to your dreams, especially. Sometimes they will bring us messages in our dreams. Or you'll just be thinking random thoughts, and like you'll get a download where you get like this whole block of information, this whole block of something that you just know. That is guidance from your spirit animals, from your ancestors, from your spirit guides. Know that it is real, that it is true, and that you have access to that every moment of every day. You are divine, and you deserve to know who you are. You deserve the joy of community, whether it's in the physical plane or the spiritual realm. Feel your animals with you. And even another way to connect with your animals is to dance your animals. Set sacred space. Call in earth, air, fire, water. Surround yourself in white light. Not to protect yourself from anything bad out there, but to create a sacred space. I do that before I do these videos. I always set sacred space, call in the guides and the ancestors to hold space for us, so that this whole thing becomes a ceremony. And so do that. Call in your guides, call in, even if you're just calling in love. Love before me, love behind me, love to the left and to the right of me, love above me, love below me, love within me, love all around me. And set that sacred space. It's like taking a pot out of the cupboard to cook your meal, to create an artificial environment where certain things can take place that don't in the everyday world, just sitting on the counter. You're creating a reality where certain things can happen. So do that, and then get quiet You can open your crown and ask your guide to come in, and then ask your guide to dance. Like, and then when you're done, like, just feel what your animal wants to do, how your animal wants to move. And it is an amazing way to connect to your animal guides. The only disclaimer is when you are done, what I do is I like disengage, disengage, disengage. I'll say that 3 times just to make sure that they are clear and I have my sovereignty returned to me. Because sometimes if we forget to release them, we can be walking through the world halfway in this world and halfway in their world. And I mean, you could run into doors, you might not see a car coming or whatever if you're not fully present in this world. So we want to make sure we let them release them back to where they came from and we totally ground into this world. But try that. It's amazing and it's fun. The first time I ever danced one of my power animals, my main power animal is a reindeer whose name is Nathaniel, and I danced him. And from just dancing, he was like feeling what it felt like to be in a physical body. And all of a sudden he started doing this. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, your head, it's so light. Because he didn't have the big solid skull that he has, not to mention the huge antlers that he carries. And he just couldn't believe how light my head was. He was just enjoying feeling that sensation. And so see what your animals want to do. Invite them in, dance them. Pretend you are them. Let them dance through you. And then disengage, disengage, disengage. And let them return and let you return fully to who you are. And if you feel like it, let me know how that goes. I love to hear people's experiences with their guides and their spirits. So you can email me, perchingwolf@hotmail.com. And if you enjoyed this, I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to check out my website, perchingwolfstudios.net, and set up an appointment with me for a personal reading where you get 5 cards, at least 5 cards to yourself. Sometimes there's more that come into play, and they're all aimed at you. It's not this generalized New York Times horoscope type thing. And I love doing that. And I had such great experience. I think I had 7 different readings today that I did for people, and every one was better than the last. And that's what I love to do. That is my pure love and joy, is to help people learn more about themselves, empower themselves. As a shaman, that is my job, is to support the community that supports me. And so let me support you, especially, like I said, through these weird, unprecedented times. We all need a little extra guidance, a little more support, and I am here to help you with that. So check out my website, like I said, perchingwolfstudios.net. See what other shamanic services I offer, healings and different things. And you can message me through Facebook or Instagram, or through my website. And if you enjoyed this, every Monday night, 7:30, I am here doing these readings, so I hope you will come back. Invite your friends. Feel free to share this far and wide. I'm trying to get my influence out there, not to influence the world, but to help heal the world humbly, to help all that I can, to open myself to be able to help and guide and support more people, and to find their inner voice, to find their heart and their connection to spirit. That is my life mission. So feel free to share this video. Feel free to email me, connect with me on my website or on my Facebook page or Instagram. And I would love to hear from you. And we will do this again next week. I think I need to go to bed. I am really, really tired. I am happy, but I'm tired. There's a difference of doing these all day long. I'm not drained. I'm actually that tired but wired. It's like I'm buzzing, but I'm exhausted. And so doing this work feeds me as well. It's a mutual benefit. So thank you, everyone. Now I'm just babbling, so I guess it's time to go. But thank you so much for your presence. Thank you so much for coming and joining me here. I will upload this to my Facebook page, and I also will upload it to my Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel. So if you came in late or you missed something, you can re-watch it. And there's over a year's worth of these weekly videos on my YouTube channel. So, if you feel like some more guidance, just choose a video, choose a number, see who comes up, see what the guidance is. It's just as vital now as if it were live. So check out my YouTube channel, Perching Wolf Studios, and my website. And I am so grateful you are here. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. I love doing these, and I wouldn't be doing these if you weren't here, so thank you so much. All right, so have a wonderful week. Connect with your animal, dance your animal, and know that I love you, I see you, and I honor you. So have a wonderful, wonderful week, my friends. I'm still kind of getting used to this 2-screen thing, but I like it. So we'll do it again. All right. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Go shining, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, now how do I end these two? Bye. Bye.